A few hours ago, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation officially commented on the Ukrainian Army's counterattack in the Kursk region that took place on February 6. In particular, the Russian military department officially stated that thanks to the professional and coordinated actions of the units of the group of troops under the designation Sever, all attempts at counteroffensive actions by the Ukrainian army were completely thwarted. According to the official representative of the Russian military department, General Igor Konashenkov, Ukrainian army units tried to break through towards the settlements of Ulunka and Cherkasskaya Konopelka in the Sudzansky district of the Kursk region. However, having suffered heavy losses in manpower and equipment, the Ukrainian units were unable to reach these settlements. According to him, over the past 24 hours, the Ukrainian army has lost 380 soldiers, 12 tanks, 15 armored personnel carriers, 20 infantry fighting vehicles, 5 pieces of engineering equipment, 3 artillery installations, and 40 units of armored fighting vehicles in the Kursk region. On the same day, Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belousov officially confirmed the Russian army's liberation of the strategically important city of Toretsk. In his speech, he expressed gratitude to the Russian soldiers. He noted that this settlement was liberated thanks to the brave and coordinated actions of the 132nd, 9th, and 1st Guard separate motorized rifle brigades of the 51st Army, and also by soldiers of the volunteer formation under the designation veterans. Andrei Belousov also confirmed the Russian army's liberation of settlements Druzhba and Krimskoy, to the north and northeast of Toretsk. Moreover, as it turned out, on February 7, Ukrainian army units also fled from the settlement of Shcherbanovka, west of Toretsk. Thus, over the past 30 days, the Russian army has completely liberated the entire Toretsk direction from enemy occupation. And this fact is a very alarming signal for the Ukrainian High Military Command, as now Russian troops are preparing for an offensive on Konstantinovka. Moreover, given the fact that the settlement of Baranovka, in Pokrovsk direction of the front, has also come under the control of the Russian army, and the territory of Chasiv Yar is almost completely liberated by Russian soldiers, the offensive of Russian troops on Konstantinovka will occur from 3 directions at once, from the southeast, northeast, and southwest. Thus, it can be stated that during the future Russian offensive on Konstantinovka, the Ukrainian grouping in this city will find itself in a real cauldron. In this regard, even pro-government Ukrainian telegram channels acknowledge that the Ukrainian army will likely have to surrender Konstantinovka within a week, after Russian troops begin their assault on the city. Meanwhile, on the night of February 7, Russia launched another series of missile strikes against military targets, controlled by the Ukrainian Army and NATO forces. This time, independent monitoring services recorded about 50 powerful explosions in such regions of Ukraine as Kharkiv, Odessa, Chernihiv, Sumy, Kiev, and Dnipropetrovsk. So, in the Kharkiv region, in the northern part of the city of Kharkiv, Russian missiles hit an object on Sokolniki Street. As it turned out, these were warehouses, where the Ukrainian command stored the property of units of several of its brigades, operating in the Kupiansk, Volchansk, and Seversk directions of the front. In Odessa region, Russian missiles, together with kamikaze drones, hit the port infrastructure in cities such as Vilkovo, Izmail, and Kalia. In Chernihiv and Sumy regions, Russian guided aerial bombs of the Fab family rained down on places of temporary deployment of Ukrainian soldiers and so-called foreign mercenaries. The main blows were inflicted on the border settlements of these regions, from where the Ukrainian command continues to transfer its last reserves to the Kursk region. It is reported that as a result of this attack, 50 Ukrainian soldiers and about 15 foreign mercenaries were killed. They were mostly Croatian and Georgian citizens. In the Kiev region, independent monitoring services and numerous witnesses recorded 5 powerful explosions in cities such as Boryspil and Kiev. As it turned out, the Russian military attacked the transport and logistics hubs of the Ukrainian Army and NATO forces. My dear truth seekers, let me remind you that it is in Boryspil and Kiev that the main air harbors and railway tracks are located, through which the NATO countries supply Ukraine with all the necessary military assistance. And finally, in Dnipropetrovsk region, in the settlement of Novopavlovka, 2 Russian Iskander-M ballistic missiles struck and destroyed the building of a local lyceum. As it turned out, the Ukrainian command and its NATO military advisors used this lyceum building as a secret base, where they monitored and led the fighting in Pokrovsk direction of the front. Moreover, there was also a kind of military hospital in the basements of this lyceum, where wounded Ukrainian soldiers and foreign mercenaries were treated. Sources in the Russian military department confirmed that as a result of this missile attack, 80 Ukrainian soldiers and about 60 foreign mercenaries from Britain, Poland, and the United States were killed. It is worth noting that the building of this lyceum was destroyed immediately after Ukrainian journalists published a video report from Novopavlovka, where a wounded mercenary accidentally fell into the frame when he was stretchered to this lyceum for further evaluation. All this indicates that Russian intelligence, in order to identify classified enemy military installations, not only resorts to the help of local residents with pro-Russian views, but also closely monitors the reports of Ukrainian journalists, and even independent bloggers. And as you can see, such a tactic is yielding results. In the last 10 days alone, Russian intelligence has managed to discover and destroy 5 classified enemy facilities that were used by the Ukrainian Army and NATO forces for temporary placement and accommodation of military personnel.